Hey, welcome back to Real Fishing and Shooting with Gunner. Thanks for watching. First thing, I want to give a shout out again to Pete at the Armory Channel. I know this isn't the Glock, this is the M&P, but I have to let Pete know that he is one of the single most important reasons I ended up getting a Glock. And not only getting the Glock, getting the improvements for the Glock through his suggestions and watching his videos. So Pete, I salute you, my friend. Now, with that, I want to talk a little bit about my Smith & Wesson M&P and what I have on it. It is 9mm. This one's 9mm, and it holds 17 rounds. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that. They're numbered. It holds 17 rounds, which I do have with Hornady ammo in it, self-defense ammo. Surefire light goes with it. Actually, we'll be using the Ultra, the Surefire Ultra on this from now on. I used Forster press. Many of you know Forster presses. Well, they also sell a gold leaf engraving kit that I just tried it on here. I thought it looked kind of neat. I don't know how well you can see it. I really like the way it looks. I kind of dressed it up some. So, anyhow, this is basic. Nothing's ever been done to this internally. It still has all the factory springs, connectors, guide rod, and it has worked flawlessly. This pistol has probably, I'm going to say close to 1,200 rounds through it so far, and never once have I ever had an issue with it. So I figure, why change anything? Why mess with something that's working? And it has shot and fired everything I've ever put through it, from the cheapest 9mm to some of the highest quality. You know, Hornady, Winchester, PDX-1, you name it. Whatever I've put through it, it is done without an issue. Reloads, anything. So I wanted to make this a carry gun, and one also for just to have around the house for protection that my wife could use if need be. So in an earlier video on the 300, I showed all about that and what it goes on here. The only other addition I made to this was it had the ambidextrous safety on both sides, and I had to eliminate the right side of the safety because I added a Crimson Trace laser. Now, how well you'll see that. You should be, there you go. And it's really, I mean, you just naturally grip the gun and the laser's on. You don't have to worry about pressing anything. You don't have to flip any switch. I mean, you just grip it and it's on. Unless you want to shut the main power off, then it's down here. You grip it and you don't have it. But just turn that on. Nothing happens until you actually grip it. So the problem was, this was designed for the M&P without the safety levers. So you can go in and remove this side, and Smith & Wesson does have an insert, which they sent me two of them, one for the left and one for the right side. It'll actually slide down. Now I don't know if you can actually, let me see if I can do this. If you look right here, you'll see a little hole in the frame. If I get the light, yeah, right there. That's where the safety lever came through. So Smith & Wesson was kind enough to send me an insert that goes down in there. I will show a video on that in the future. Putting it just slides in, more or less locks in place, covers that hole up, no issues. But the Crimson Trace laser grip just if you look where that laser's laying is right where this was, so it just wouldn't work. So what I had to do was, like I said, cut that out, but An added benefit that Crimson Trace doesn't even promote, and I kind of wish they would, you get, when you buy the M&P, now I don't think the 22 M&P has it, but you get different grip inserts. You get 3, a small, medium, and a large. And what it is basically the hump is smaller, flatter than a medium, than a bigger hump. And that's great. The medium worked for me more than any of them. But what happens is when you have something flat, and I don't know how well I can show this this way, but when you have something flat and you grip it, you still have a gap here and a gap here in your palm. You still have that gap because you're gripping something flat, and you can see you still slide something in between. You just have a flat surface and your palm of your hand is curved. So when you do it, you're attaching, you're making the difference in the back, which gets you further away from the trigger, which may feel good, but you have that empty space in between. Well, what I liked about this is where the battery, this takes 2 of the 2016 nickel size batteries. You one on this side, one on this side. Well, what it did, if you look, it made that swell out. Kind of looks like a pregnant grip. You puffed out here and puffed out there. And in turn, ideally, when you put that in your hand now, if you can see that, that fills that gap. That takes up that curve spot. So when you grab this, you basically have your grip, you have complete contact with your grip from the back strap all around the palm and into the front fingers. It fills the entire hand. It doesn't make it feel like it's like you're grabbing a 2x4. I mean, it literally fills in perfect. It just goes right in there. You grab that and you're ready to go. You basically have, now obviously you're not grabbing the other side unless you go like this, but if you're shooting one-handed, so you basically have 100% grip connection from the back strap clear around to the fingertips. That's going to help you with accuracy, help you control recoil, makes a world of difference. And I do not understand why Crimson Trace, who I've worked with for a few years, does not cite that as a benefit of getting these grips. I mean, it kind of, just looks like it's a pregnant grip right there. And it makes a world of difference. It really does. So, if you're thinking about laser grip or a laser for your gun, check out Crimson Trace. They make many models for many of the guns that are out there. Crimson Trace is always nice and bright. Oh, I shut the power off. They're always nice and bright. They've never failed on me. Batteries last an extremely long time. And like I said, in the case of the M&P, you get the benefit of unbelievable grip. I mean, it feels like it was custom made for your hand. You just can't beat it. So, if you're looking for a laser that way, if you want to get a laser grip, look at M&P. If you want just an add-on laser to a rail system, Crimson Trace also makes those, but also don't forget Surefire makes them too. So it all gets down to how much money you have, what you want to spend. But if you're looking for an added benefit to a better grip on your gun, which we all need, especially if you have an M&P. If you have an M&P, check these out. It's unbelievable. So, with that said, I want to thank you again. I want to thank Crimson Trace. Thank you for watching. Again, thanks Pete for being the deciding factor of me getting the Glock and then getting into the Glock world. And then upgrading it and making the changes. And like I said, this is the only thing I've ever done to it other than the filling in the engravings. It's the only thing that's ever going to be done to it. So basically, that's what you see most of the times here when it's at the house. So again, thanks for stopping by. And if you like what you saw, please subscribe and let us know what you like, what you don't like. Keep it clean. And throw in any suggestions of what you want to see. Thanks.